Doc Greene, Raging Elephants Radio. I have right here next to me the open carry preacher himself, Pastor Terry Holcomb.
It's a good day.
It is a good day. A lot of folks here. Hundreds of folks showed up today.
Not enough.
Yeah, it should have been thousands. Should have been tens of thousands.
I mean, a lot of these groups are working their teeth to the bone. They're working their skin to the bone. They're getting thrown in jail unlawfully. They're spending money on bail, and they're putting all this into the game. And people stayed home today, and they should have been out here. We should have had 1,500 people.
Rain.
Yeah, you know, they want liberty for free. They want liberty for free. They want liberty from being Facebook warriors. But liberty comes at a cost, and you got to sacrifice. And the ones that sacrifice each and every day are always at these events. They were here today, and I'm so thankful for them. And we don't always agree on approaches, and we've had our internal struggles. But I loved each today because they sacrificed to be here.
Well, you know, since you mentioned it, I've got to go back to one of the open carry advocates in the Bible, King David. He said, "I cannot offer up to God that which costs me nothing."
That's right.
And it's no different in the liberty movement.
It is no different.
It's a God-inspired thing. It's a God-given right. And if you want a right, it's got to cost you something.
That's right. And all the people that oppose the approach that I'm taking, because I know everybody doesn't agree with it, and that's okay. I support their right to disagree. But where were they today? I don't want to hear another word out of a single solitary person that wasn't here today. They lost their right to speak to me about the way I'm doing this.
I have to agree with you, because there should have been 10,000 people here today. There should be covered all the way to the street.
That's right.
There should be no empty space.
I mean, for Pete's sake, the gun grabbers showed up today.
Yeah. Yeah, the gun grabbers showed up today. We had a few people down there that were protesting Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
I don't think that meant they were pro-life, however.
So all this did was fortify my position and say that I've been right about handling it the way I'm handling it. We simply cannot get the support from the people to do what needs to be done up here to get constitutional carry. So I am removing the concealed requirement from the CHL law. I'm very proud of the work we've done. I just got finished telling GRAA, by the way. I'm sorry, NAGAR. NAGAR. N-A-G-R.
Oh, NAGAR.
Just got finished telling them, don't blame the failure on your bill on the successes of mine.
Yes.
No, stop doing that. And, you know, they said, well, we have 400,000 members. And I looked around and I said,
where are they?
Okay, you need to go reassess your 400,000 membership, because we only had 150 people here today. I'm sorry, but you're not carrying no weight with me. So.
Yeah, it's very sad. I mean, you know, yesterday we had the meeting here, and we had about the same number of people there.
Yeah.
It's the fair weather deal. I mean, so many people apparently were afraid it was going to rain.
It's a beautiful day.
Or, yeah, it's lovely out here. I need to take my jacket off. Quite frankly, it's a little warm for this jacket. And I seen here today some of the finest patriots that I've ever had the privilege to know.
Oh, yes.
But such a small number. And even the French news media, they sent someone over from France to cover this.
I know it. And it just shows why we're having such a hard time with gun rights in Texas. You got too many folks that are pro-gun and not pro-Second Amendment.
True.
You got too many folks that want to disagree with our methods, but they don't want to do nothing.
No.
Quite frankly, we can't even get a cut of check.
No, and we couldn't get people. I mean, for instance, Channel 11 News, my Houston organization, was invited by some of the people to be here.
Yeah.
And they couldn't be troubled to send anyone out.
Why
the
would
French sent somebody from France.
They?
Yeah, well, this doesn't appeal to them. And I understand ABC News was here, and they wanted an interview with one of the Freedom Texas guys. And he said to her flat out, the news info babe said, well, if you interview me, are you going to print my remarks accurately or report them accurately, or are you going to twist them to fit your agenda? That was the end of the interview. So that should tell you something.
Yeah. It was a good event. I'm thankful for everybody that came out. You know, we're going to pick up the work next week, and we're going to get open carry passed. I can tell you that.
Well, Lieutenant Dan said he was behind it.
He is behind it.
Greg Abbott twice has come out and said he's behind it.
We're at 67 co-authors on our bill in the House. 67.
That's pretty good.
Go find another bill that has that many co-authors.
I don't think I can.
Right. And so we're very proud of the work we've done. It hasn't been easy. We've worked hard, and we're proud of that work.
Joe Strauss is really the only one that is not in favor of this.
Everybody keeps saying that, but I don't know why.
Well, because Joe Strauss has said that he's not going to get behind the agenda this year, and because he doesn't necessarily believe in it.
Well, here's my thing. Joe Strauss is not stopping us from doing any of our work. I would go as far as to say, look at the committee appointment. of Homeland and Security.
Go ahead, tell
Larry Phillips.
Yeah.
Who filed HB 910? Larry Phillips. Where's the committee? Where's the bill going to be heard? Homeland and Security. That's not an accident.
All right. So you think Joe Strauss is not going to attempt to stop this?
Not only that, I believe he's supporting it.
Okay. Well, all right. We'd have to give the man some points for that.
You would have to. I believe that he is supporting this bill, not just getting a committee hearing, not just getting out of calendars, but getting a vote on the floor.
So, licensed open carry, I have some different ideas about how that might work. And on day one, I think licensed open carry is you're going to get stopped every time a cop sees you.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think we are going to have some problems across the state. We see it with now. I mean, that's not a new phenomenon, by the way, right?
Well,
so if I walk down the street with a long rifle, which is perfectly legal,
yes.
What's the first thing they come up and want to do?
Well,
give me your license.
Yeah, let me see your license.
Okay, so we're not talking about a new thing here, right? They've been doing that for 18 months to us.
Yeah.
We do expect probably for 6 months there's going to be a learning curve. And we may be able to get an amendment in the bill that would say you cannot stop someone just because they're carrying a gun. We are trying to do that.
Well, I actually had the Region 7 DPS guys here stop me walking right down this walk a few weeks ago when we were up here for the Speaker Showdown. They say, excuse me, sir, are you carrying without a license? I said, I don't have to answer that question. I don't really want to talk to you.
That's right.
We want to talk to you. Well, I really don't want to talk to you. Well, we have some questions. And they were trying to get me to incriminate myself.
Oh, sure.
They wanted me to admit that I was carrying a weapon without a license. And he said, well, we have questions. And I said, well, there's a lot of questions that people all over the world have wanted answers to, but they're not going to get them. And I turned around and walked away. But once again, that was nothing more than harassment. Trying to get me to incriminate myself.
Let me be real clear. DPS is not representative of the rest. DPS Region 7 is not representative of the rest of Department of Public Safety.
You think so?
I deal with Department of Public Safety all over the state of Texas, and I have never one time had a problem with a DPS trooper outside of Region 7. Region 7 has got something in their Kool-Aid or their coffee. I had a trooper in here tell one of our members today that this is his exact words, his mag was uncovered. And he said, you are not going to walk in my building. Appreciate it. That's what he said. My building with that being uncovered. Well, I got
an uncovered magazine?
Well, that's not even the issue. Let me clearly educate you, Mr. Trooper. This isn't your building.
You told him this? I hope you did.
Of course. This is my building. You don't own the building. The people own the building.
I feel so sorry.
And so I don't know what's going on with these guys up here in Region 7, but we got to start checking their water and coffee.
Well, the guy behind the camera over there, Mr. Pedro Rivera, he was with me here when Rolando Rivas, in that office right there, told us he was going to arrest us for asking questions.
Of course.
And he said, if you don't get out of here, you're going to get arrested. For what crime? We had not violated any crimes. We did not bring a video camera because we expected no confrontation. I wanted his assurance that he was not going to arrest my friends here at Freedom Friday yesterday. And
something mysteriously happens when you walk in those doors. Somehow the law does not apply, nor does the Constitution.
It's almost magical, isn't it?
It is. I mean, if I walked in there right now, I would probably get trouble. And I'm not looking for it today. I told my wife, I promised her, I will not go to jail today, honey. So
both of us have concerned redheads.
I'm not going to walk in there today because I will not cover up my mags. I just won't do it, which means I'd go to jail. And I'm not going to leave either. I'm not going to leave the people's building because a statist DPS Region 7 officer says you have to leave my building. No, it's my building, and I'm not going to let you steal it from me.
Now, what we need is 10,000 other citizens of Texas with that kind of guts.
That would get done just about anything we needed to get done.
It would, because at some point in time they realize. So let me ask you this question. I think the next rally we have up here, I think I'm going to buy a whole bunch of clown noses, and every time we see a Region 7 DPS officer, we should say, you are out of uniform, and hand him the nose.
I love it, love it, love it.
Because if you analyze their policies, they immediately break under their own weight.
Yes, they do. They do.
They can't stand.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Doc. I can't deal with it right now because we're just focused on open carry. But after the session, both C.J. Grisham and I are going to be dealing with Region 7 DPS. And we're going to use the system to do it. We're going to start going to the DPS commissioners meetings. They have 4 a year. And we're going to be going there dealing with them. We're going to be meeting with Director McCraw, and we're going to get this fixed. Well, one way.
Count me in.
Or
on supporting that.
Another.
If not being there. I talked to Congressman Randy Weber. Of course, he's, congressman. But he used to be in the State House here. And when I told him what was going on here, he said that absolutely can't be tolerated. That man should be fired immediately.
But the problem is we don't have a recourse. And you know that you are living in a police state when the people no longer have a recourse.
That's tyranny, pure and simple.
Plain and simple. And we do not have a recourse to stop this unlawful, tyrannical behavior of this Region 7 DPS at this Capitol. We have no recourse. They keep arresting people for criminal trespass. It is literally impossible to criminal trespass on this Capitol.
It's your building. You own it.
All 8 cases have been dismissed, but they keep arresting people for criminal trespass.
That's why I asked Rolando Rivas, said all these cases were dismissed. I said, so are you going to keep arresting these people?
And they are.
And that's when he said, yeah, we're going to throw you out of here.
Yeah, they're going to arrest you now.
Yeah,
he did.
The very definition of tyranny. Pastor Terry Holcomb.
Thank you, sir. God bless y'all.
Thank you for everything you do.
We'll see y'all later.